Hi everyone! Hello! Welcome! Welcome everyone to the stream! Welcome! Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening! Whoever your time, your time is. So Sim, is this basically like this is basically a bedtime story reading then? How's everyone? I have the book ready here right next to me. And it's a really thick book. I think it has like, how many pages is this? 401 pages. We won't be reading all of it. We'll be reading a select few. A select few or whatever time allows. And some are like 2 to 3 pages long. It's a thick book. It's like, I think this is leather bound. Yeah, it's a leather bound book. It's a leather bound book. We're going to there's like a lot of stories here that have been based on from Disney. That Disney based where the movies on. I have like a few that's probably that's known. How do I say it? Stories were more known in the Disney version, and that's why we're going to read the original ones. This is the Brothers Grimm. If it's Little Mermaid, that's like Hans Christian Andersen, which is another book I have. But we're focusing right now on Brothers Grimm. But before that, how's everyone? How's everyone? Did you eat? Has anyone eat, drank, or anything? We're just gonna have a long storytelling session. And I already have like the first story picked out. Yeah, I already have the first story picked out. Based on one of my favorite Disney movies. Late night tacos! Nice! Tacos are really nice. Oh, is this with... I think I like the ones with beef tacos are nice. Shawarma! Okay, I prefer shawarma. Shawarma's good though. Oh my gosh, shawarma's really good. I think it's been a while since I ate shawarma. Like, I don't know, a year? I think it's been a year. It's been a year since I ate shawarma. God, I miss the savory taste of it. I think I just got fish for this. I just ate fish and rice. That's all. Well, this is my usual. How do you say dinner? My familiar cooks. You're chilling out this wonderful Sunday. Oh yes! Happy Sunday to everyone. Happy Sunday to all. Yes, it's a nice Sunday. Like, you can just relax, chill, listen to some fairy tales. There's like a lot. Some are really well known. Some are probably not well known. I have in here. Like, some I'm not sure if they're connected. It's been a while since I read this. So, without further ado, I have the first tale on hand now. I have my bookmark ready. Oh my gosh. It's leather bound. So some I think it's leather bound. I'm not sure this is leather bound. Because some of the pigments of the colors do transfer in my hand. Especially if it's wet a bit, it's going to transfer. So I'm trying to be careful with it. It's a really old book now. So, our first... Okay. I'll just lower the music. Okay. Is this low enough? Is the music low enough? Yeah, it's really old. I have to be careful with it. I hope the music is soft enough. I think it's soft enough though. I think it's soft enough for me to read. Wait, I have to push this back before I accidentally click something. Okay. There. Before I click something by accident, push this back too. Okay. Oh my gosh. Why is this set up so hard? Okay. So our first story of the day is The Sleeping Beauty or known as Briar Rose. Sleeping Beauty is one of my favorite Disney movies because I really like the song. Yeah, the song there. The song I really love one of the songs there. I think it's called Once Upon a Dream. Yeah, that's like one of my favorite songs from Disney. And like, it's just the animation back in the days is so, so beautiful. Like, even the art style is beautiful. Yeah, the name is pretty. Yeah, the name of Briar Rose is pretty. That's like the original title of Sleeping Beauty. If I remember correctly. Yeah, that's like the original one. And well, you know that if I'm sure a lot of you know the Disney version. That's why we're reading the original version. And the original version is pretty short. It's like just 3 pages long. The original story is just 3 pages long. Well, I have to like put a narration. Okay. Wait. Let me just fix something. Okay. Okay. Now for sure we're now reading this. Okay. Okay. I will just grab this. Okay. A long time ago, there was a king and queen who said every day, "Ah, if only we have a child." But they never had one. But it happened once when the queen was bathing. A frog crept out of the water onto the land and said to her, "Your wish will be fulfilled. Before a year has gone by, you shall have a daughter." What the frog had said came true. And the queen had a little girl who was so pretty that the king could not contain himself for joy, and ordered a great feast. A frog? Sorry. He invited not only his kindred, friends, and acquaintance, but also the wise women, in order they might be kind and well disposed towards the child. There were 13 of them in his kingdom, but as he had only 12 golden plates for them to eat, out of one of them had to be left at home. And we all know who was left alone. The feast was held with a manner of splendor, and when it came to an end, the wise women bestowed their magic gifts upon the baby. One gave virtue, another beauty, a third riches, and so on with everything in the world one can wish for. When 11 of them had made their promises, suddenly the 13th came in. She wished to avenge herself for not having been invited, and without greeting or even looking at anyone, she cried with a loud voice, "The king's daughter shall in her 15th year prick herself with a spindle and fall down dead." And without saying a word more, she turned around and left the room. They were all shocked. But the 12, whose good wish still remained unspoken, came forward, as she could not undo the evil sentence, but only soften it, and she said, "It shall not be death, but a deep sleep of 100 years, into which the princess shall fall." The king, who wished to keep his dear child from misfortune, gave orders that every spindle in the whole kingdom should be burned. Meanwhile, the gifts of the wise women came true for the young girl, for she was so beautiful, modest, good-natured, and wise, that everyone who saw her was bound to love her. It happened on that very day when she turned 15 years old. The king and queen were not at home. The maiden was left in the palace quite alone. So she went round in all sorts of places, looked into rooms and bedchambers just as she liked, and at last came to an old tower. She climbed up to the narrow winding staircase and reached a little door. A rusty key was in the lock, and when she turned it, the door sprang open. There, in a little room, sat an old woman with a spindle, busy spinning her flax. "Good day, old dame," said the king's daughter. "What are you doing there?" "I am spinning," said the old woman, nodded her head. What sort of thing is that rattles round so merrily?"
said the girl, and she took the spindle and wanted to spin too. But scarcely had she touched the spindle when the magic decree was fulfilled, and she pricked her finger with it. And, in the very moment when she felt the prick, she fell down upon the bed that stood there and lay in deep sleep. And this sleep extended over the whole palace. The king and queen who had just come home and had entered the great hall began to go to sleep, and all of the court too. The horses too went to sleep in the stable, the dogs in the yard, the pigeons upon the roof, the flies on the wall, even the fire that was flaming on the hearth became quiet and slept. The roast meat left on frizzling, and the cook, who was just going to pull the hair out of the kitchen boy because he had forgotten something, let him go and went to sleep. The wind fell, and on the trees outside the castle had not moved again. But round about the castle there began to grow a hedge of thorns, which every year became higher and at last grew close up to the castle and all over it, so that there was nothing of left to be seen, not even the flag upon the roof. But the story of the beautiful sleeping briar rose, for so the princess was named, went about the country, so that from time to time king's sons came and tried to get through the thorny hedge into the castle. But they found it impossible, for the thorns held fast together as if they had hands, and the youths were caught in them, could not get loose again, and died a miserable death. After long years, a king's son came again to that country and heard an old man talking about the briar hedge. The castle was said to stand behind it a wonderfully beautiful princess named Briar Rose, had been asleep for hundreds of years, and that the king and the queen and the whole court were asleep likewise. He had heard too from his grandfather that many king's sons had already come and had tried to get through the thorny hedge, but they had remained sticking fast in it and died a pitiful death. Then the youth said, "I am not afraid. I will go and see the beautiful Briar Rose." The good old man tried to dissuade him, but he did not listen to his words. But by this time, the 100 years had passed, and the day come when Briar Rose was to awake again. When the king's son came to the briar hedge, it was nothing but large and beautiful flowers which parted from each other of their own accord and let him pass unhurt. Then they closed again behind him like a hedge. In the courtyard, he saw horses and spotted hounds lying asleep. On the roof sat the pigeons with their heads under their wings. And when he entered the house, the flies were asleep upon the wall. The cook in the kitchen was holding out his hand to seize the boy. And the maid was sitting by the black hen, which she was going to pluck. He went on farther, and in the great hall he saw the whole of the court lying asleep, and up by the throne lay the king and queen. Then he went on still farther. It was so quiet that a breath could be heard, and at last he came to the tower and opened the door into the little room where Briar Rose was sleeping. There she lay, so beautiful that he could not turn his eyes away. He stooped down and gave her a kiss, but as soon as he kissed her, Briar Rose opened her eyes and awoke, and looked at him sweetly. Then they went down together, and the king awoke, and the queen and the whole court looked at each other in great astonishment. And the horses in the courtyard stood up and shook themselves, the hounds jumped and wagged their tails, the pigeons on the roof put out their heads under their wings, looked around, and flew into the open country. The flies on the wall crept again. The fire in the kitchen burned up and flickered and cooked the meat. The roast began to turn and fizzle again. And the cook gave the boy such a box on the ear that he screamed, and the maid plucked the fowl ready for the spit. And then the marriage of the king's son with Briar Rose was celebrated in all splendor, and they lived to content to the end of their days. And this is the end though. That's the end of the first story, Briar Rose. This is actually really short. We went with a really short start, Briar Rose. It, as you can already see, there were like changes from it. There are like changes already from the Disney compared to this version. I'm pretty sure there's like another version. Wait, let me check if there's like another version of Briar Rose. I am certain there's like this version that kinda. Wait, I need to see first. I need to see this. Wait. Briar Rose. I'm pretty sure there was a different. Is it? I'm pretty sure there was a different ending. Was there a different ending? Wait. Yeah, there were. Yeah, there were like other versions in this story, Briar Rose, where while I don't know if I should say this. Basically, one version, she kinda got kids while she was asleep. Yeah. She got kids while she was asleep. She had twins. That's like one version. It's like one version of the story. She had twins, and then the twins had to like suck out the prick from her finger so she could wake up. Yeah. That's like the other version of Sleeping Beauty, which is kinda not friendly. Not friendly in any state, in any sort of manner. It's not friendly, but at least I got the friendlier version. But this time there were like 13 instead of fairies, there were wise women. And sure, instead of 3 like from the Disney, this is like the friendly version, right? Well, sort of friendly because like there were like mentions like there are like previous princess tried to get into the castle but then died in the thorny hedge, I mean. Just imagine. Yeah, other than people dying in the thorny bush, just like this like the friendly-ish one. But still, just imagine though. Just imagine you're just passing by, like let's say 50 years. Let's say 50 years after the whole sleeping thing. You just see the attempts of previous princess on the bush. Isn't that like horrifying to just go past? You're just walking past by it and you just see that displayed so openly. And how many kingdoms lose an heir to the throne because of that? Like for real, how many lose an heir just to try to get to the princess? Like, he didn't say how many, but there were like a lot. I'm pretty sure there are a lot. But oh god, that's like so much. How do you so much princess kingdoms? Well, unless they like set unless the princess were like, oh my gosh, how do you say it? They're like the not tawag doon. The annoying ones. Look, sometimes they gotta cut their losses, you know? Gotta cut their losses. Especially if you see, like, oh my gosh. They gotta cut their losses. Especially if you hear, like, there are different princess who tried to go to the castle but died. Would you still do it? Like, I don't know, man. If I see a fresh one, I'm gonna back off. Self-preservation. Self-preservation. I'm sure those thorns are probably magic too. So it's not gonna be easy to like go through with it. But yeah, that's our first. Hi Aranea! We just finished our first story. It's Briar Rose, or also known as Sleeping Beauty. I'm searching for another one. Wait.
Where was it? Where was it? I think I lost the bookmark. Oh my gosh, I lost the bookmark. Okay, let's go with something. I'm still going to the more familiar ones. Where is it? Oh my gosh, I think I lost it. Where is it? 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 Ah, there we go. One of the more. This is this one. This one. How long is? 7 pages. Okay, this one's gonna be a long one. This one's a long one, though. This one's a long one. Wait. Oh my gosh. I'm trying. Okay. I think. Should I go with 7 pages? I'm debating if I should go 7 pages or what. There's Cinderella, Little Red Cap, or Little Red Riding Hood. I don't know. What, Little Red Cap? I just think like she's wearing like those caps with the modern one. I don't know, like the caps instead of a hood. This looks funny to imagine a little red cap. Oh my gosh. Wait, I'm checking. Let's see. Okay. How about something short before we go jumping into the long one? Surely there's something short that freaking well known. Wait. Rapunzel. Oh, Rapunzel. It's like. Okay, Rapunzel is like 4 pages. Okay. Before we jump into 7 pages, we're going to 4 pages. Little by little. Which number is it? Okay.
Rapunzel. I think. But Disney went with Tangled instead of Rapunzel, right? Yeah. Disney went with Tangled instead of Rapunzel. But I know more the Barbie version. The Barbie Rapunzel. I'm pretty more familiar with that. Like the Barbie. I don't like. The Barbie Rapunzel deviated so much from the story. They just have the name of the character, Rapunzel, but that's it.
I'm not sure in Tangled. I think Tangled had their own
Addition to it.
Yeah, they had their own spice. Not exactly spice. They had their own all that. There are their own twist into it, like adding the magic flower thing. I like Tangled. Like, oh my gosh, the songs of Tangled though, so beautiful. Especially, I See the Light. Ah, that's such a good song. It's so romantic. I like it. It's just
It's such a good song though.
I love it. My God, I love it. I love the song so much.
So it's so I get swoon.
I get swooned so much with the song.
Anyway,
Before I go on a tangent on Tangled, we're gonna read Rapunzel then. Oh my gosh, it's so hot. Okay. Okay, wait. Oh my god. Okay. Rapunzel. There once was a man and a woman who had long in vain wished for a child. At length, the woman hoped that God was about to grant her desire. These people had a little window at the back of their house from which a splendid garden could be seen, which was full of the most beautiful flowers and herbs. It was, however, surrounded by a high wall, and no one dared to go into it because it belonged to an enchantress named Dame Goto. Dame Goto, who had great power and was dreaded by all the world. One day, the woman was standing by this window and looking down into the garden when she saw a bed was platted with the most beautiful rampion, also known as Rapunzel, and looked so fresh and green that she longed for it and had the greatest desire to eat some. This desire increased every day, and as she knew that she could not get any of it, she quite pinned away and looked pale and miserable. Her husband was alarmed and asked, "What ails you, dear wife?" "Ah," she replied, if I can get some of the rampion, which is in the garden behind our house, I shall die." The man who loved her thought, "Sooner than let your wife die, bring her some of the rampion yourself. Let it cost you what it will." In the twilight of the evening, he clambered down over the wall into the garden of the enchantress, hastily clutched a handful of rampion, and took to his wife. She at once made herself a salad of it and ate it with much delight. She, however, liked it so much, so very much, that that the next day she longed for it 3 times as much as before. If he was to have any rest, her husband must once more descend to the garden. In the glow of the evening, therefore, he had let himself down again. But when he clambered down the wall, he was terribly afraid, for he saw the enchantress standing before him. "How can you dare," she said with an angry look, "to descend into my garden and steal my rampion like a thief? You shall suffer for it." "Ah," answered he, "let mercy take the place of justice. I only made up my mind to do it out of necessity. My wife saw your rampion from the window and felt such a longing for it that she would have died if she had not get some to eat." Wait, oh my gosh, the pages merged. Wait, the page merged, oh my god. Okay, we got it. The page merged, wait! The page merged, wait. Now separated. Okay. Then, the enchantress allowed her anger to be softened, said to him, If the case be as you say, I will allow you to take away with you as much rampion as you will. Only I make one condition. You must give me the child which your wife will bring into the world. It shall be well treated, and I will care for it like a mother." The man, in his terror, consented to everything, and when the woman gave birth, the enchantress appeared at once, and gave the child the name Rapunzel, and took it away with her. Rapunzel grew into the most beautiful child beneath the sun, and when she was 12 years old, the enchantress shut her into the tower, which lay in a forest. It neither had stairs nor door, but at the top was a little window. When the enchantress wanted to go in, she placed herself beneath and cried, "Rapunzel, Rapunzel, let down your hair for me." Rapunzel had a magnificent long hair, spine as fine gold. And when she heard the voice of the enchantress, she unfastened her braided tresses and wound them round of one of the hooks in the window above, and then her hair fell 20 ells down, and the enchantress climbed up by it. After a year or two, it came to a pass that the king's son rode through the forest and went by the tower. Then he heard a song, which was so charming that he stood still and listened. It was Rapunzel, who in her solitude passed her time in letting his sweet voice resound. The king's son wanted to climb up to her and look for the door of the tower, but none was to be found. He rode home. But the singing had so deeply touched his heart that every day he went out into the forest and listened to it. Only when he was thus standing behind a tree, he saw the enchantress came in there, and he heard how she cried, "Rapunzel, Rapunzel, let down your hair." Then Rapunzel let down braids of her hair, and then the enchantress climbed up to her. If that is the ladder by which one mounts, I will at once try my fortune," said he, and the next day, when it began to grow dark, he went to the tower and cried, "Rapunzel, Rapunzel, let down your hair." Immediately, the hair fell down and the king's son climbed up. At first, Rapunzel was terribly frightened when a man such as her eyes had never yet beheld came to her. But the king's son began to talk to her quite like a friend, and told that his heart became so scared that it let him have no rest, and he had forced to see her. Then Rapunzel lost her fear, and when he asked her if she would take him for her husband, "What? You would take him to what?" What? He asked her if she would take him for her husband, and she saw that he was young and handsome, she thought. I'm sorry, what? You will love me more than that old damn Gato does. She said yes. Said yes? What the? What? Why? I laid her hand in his. She said, I will really go away with you, but I do not know how to get down. Bring with you a skein of silk every time you come, and I will weave a ladder with it. And when that's ready, I will descend. You and you will take me on your horse. They agreed that... Oh my gosh. They agreed that until the time he should come to her every evening, for the old woman come by day. The enchantress remarked nothing of this until once Rapunzel said to her, Tell me, damn daughter, how it happens that you're so much heavier for me to grow up than the young king's son, who is with me hardly a minute. Rapunzel snitched? Wait, I'll read again. Tell me, damn Gato, how it happens that you are so much heavier for me to draw up than the young king's son? He is with me in hardly a minute. She snitched. She just She snitched. Ah, you wicked child, cried the enchantress. What do I hear you say? I thought I had separated you from all the world, and yet you have deceived me. In her anger, she clutched Rapunzel's beautiful tresses, wrapped them twice around her left hand, seized a pair of scissors with the right, and snip, snap, they were cut off. The lovely braids lay on the ground, and she was so pitiless that she took poor Rapunzel into a desert, where she had to live in grief and misery. Well then, on the same day as she castled Rapunzel, the enchantress fastened the braids of the hair which she had kept onto the hook of the window, and when the evening the king's son came and cried, Rapunzel, Rapunzel, let down your hair. And she let the hair down. The king's son ascended, but he did not find his dearest Rapunzel above, but the enchantress, who gazed at him with wicked and venomous look. Aha! She cried mockingly. You would fetch your dearest, but the beautiful bird is no longer singing in the nest. The cat has got it. And, wait, next page. And we'll scratch out your eyes as well. Rapunzel is lost to you, and you'll never see her no more. Yeah, you'll never see her more. The king's son was beside himself with pain, and he What? What? The king's son was beside himself with pain, and in his despair, he leapt down from the tower. Did he just jump off? He escaped with his life, but the thorns into which he fell pierced his eyes. He wandered quite blind about the forest, ate nothing but roots and berries, but did nothing but lament and weep over the loss of his dearest wife. Wait. Thus he roamed about in misery for some years, and at length came to a desert where Rapunzel, which the twins, I'm sorry, with the twins to which he had given birth, a boy and a girl, lived in wretchedness. He heard a voice so familiar to him that he went towards it, and when he approached, Rapunzel knew him and embraced him and wept. Two of her tears wetted his eyes, and they grew clear again, and he could see them as before. He led her to his kingdom, where he was joyfully received, and they lived for a long time afterwards, happily and contented. Well, that's the end of the story. How old is Rapunzel? Wait a minute. How old is Rapunzel? Wait. How old is Rapunzel again? How old is Rapunzel? Wait a minute. She was 12 when she was locked away. After a year or two, so let's just say she was 14. Oh my God, are you serious? Wait! No way! No! Yep, no. Whoa, wait a minute. something's not right in this story. After a year or two, it came to pass that the king's son rode to the forest. She was 12, and then a year of two, 13 or 14, and then... I'm sorry? I'm sorry? I'm... So Tangled's better. So Tangled's better. Tangled's better. Tangled's way better. Yep, it is what it is. Tangled's better. Tangled's way better. I think they are the Romeo and Juliet. But the thing there is, at the end of the story, some years, I don't know how many years, she has twins. And 14, so some years, so how long? How long did he... How long? Okay, let's read another. Let's read another one. Let's read something. Something nice. Something nice. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Aha! That's a no good. No. That's a no buen. No. Okay. No. Why? Why are you like this? Why are you like this? Why? Okay, this time I'll be reading The Wolf. Oh my gosh, no. Let's read Hansel and Gretel. Surely nothing bad happens in Hansel and Gretel. Surely, right? Nothing bad happens in Hansel and Gretel, right? Please? What page is this? Okay. Surely nothing bad happens. Please? Oh my god. Wait, what page is this? 62. Okay, wait. 62. Okay, Hansel and Gretel. Totally. Anyway, Tangled's way better. Wait, before I wanna cleanse it. I wanna cleanse first. So, Tangled's way better. It's way better. It's way better. Wasn't there a live action Hansel and Gretel? Wait, wasn't there a live action Hansel and Gretel movie? I remember there was. Wait. Hansel. Yeah, Hansel and Gretel Witch Hunters. That one. I don't remember with the story here. I know Hansel and Gretel Witch Hunters, the movie. Yeah, I watched that. Oh my gosh, it's 2013. Did Rapunzel surprise you? But yes, Hansel and Gretel. Do you know like the Flash game, Gretel and Hansel? I played that a lot when Flash was still up. I like that game. I really like that game. You don't even know the variation of the original. This is the Brothers Grimm version. Oh my gosh. Please be... I hopefully this will be a happy ending. Brothers Grimm, don't fail me now. Please, hopefully it's better than Rapunzel. Please be better than Rapunzel. Wait, let me fix my mic. I'll fix my mic. So I can read easier. Can you hear me? Can you still hear me? Can I still be heard? Can I still be heard? Can I? God. Okay, let me just fix the mic so I can read easier. How about this one? Can I still be heard? Or is it too far? Is my voice too far from the mic? Is it too far? Or what? Wait, I'll adjust this. Wait, I'll adjust this. Hello? Okay. I think I adjusted it now. This one. Okay. This is an easier setup. Okay. Much digestible. Okay. This is an easier setup for me. Okay. This is way easier. Why did I went with this setup? This is like easier. Okay. There we go. Okay. So, Hansel and Gretel. Hansel and Gretel. Wait, I dropped it. Okay. Hansel and Gretel for a third time. Okay. I hope you're enjoying this because I am shocked for some revelations because it's been a while since I read some of this. Like, it's been really a long while. I hope you enjoy the fairy tale reading stream. Oh my god. Because I like the surprises sometimes because it's been a while since it's just a chill stream. It's nice. Yeah, I get to like learn some we're gonna read more popular first, then we go to the less popular ones. We're going to less popular. So it'll be easy. Let me adjust that. Okay. So, without further ado, Hansel and Gretel. Near a great forest dwelt a poor woodcutter with his wife and 2 children. The boy was called Hansel and the girl Gretel. He had little to bite and to break, and when great scarcity fell on the land, he could not procure daily bread. Now, when he thought over this at night in his bed, and tossed about in his anxiety, he groaned and said to his wife, "What is it to become of us? How are we to feed our poor children when we no longer have anything even for ourselves?" "I tell you what, husband," answered the woman. Who calls their husband? I'll tell you what, husband. Doesn't sound like... Okay. I tell you what, husband. Early tomorrow morning, we will take the children out into the forest where it is the thickest. There, we will light a fire for them and give each one of them a piece of bread. And then we will go to our work and leave them alone. They will not find the way home again, and we shall be rid of them." "No, wife," said the man. That's just weird. That's just weird. "No, wife," said the man. "I will not do that. How can I bear to leave my children alone in the forest? The wild animals soon come to tear them to pieces." "Oh, you fool," said she. "Then we must all 4 die of hunger. You may as well plane the planks for our coffins." And she left him no peace until he consented. "But I feel very sorry for the poor children all the same," said the man. The 2 children had also been able to sleep for hunger and had heard what their stepmother said to their father. Gretel wept bitter tears and said to Hansel, "Now it's all over for us." "Hush, Gretel," said Hansel. "Do not distress yourself. I will soon find a way to help us." And when the old folks had fallen asleep, he had gotten up, put on his little coat, opened the door below, and crept outside. The moon shone brightly, and the white pebbles which lay in front of the house glittered like silver pennies. Hansel stopped and put as many of them in his little pocket of his coat as he could possibly get in. Then, when he went back to Gretel, he said, "Be comforted, dear little sister, and sleep in peace. God will not forsake us." And he lay down again in bed. When day dawned,
But before the sun had risen, the woman came and awoke the two children.
Get up, you sluggards! We're going to the forest to fetch wood.
She gave them a little piece of bread and said,
There is something for you for dinner, but do not eat up before then, for you'll get nothing else.
Gretel took the bread under her apron, and Hansel had all the stones in his pocket. Then they all set out together way to the forest. Where they had walked a short time, Hansel stood still and peeped back at the house, and so did again and again. His father said, Hansel, what are you looking there and staying behind for? Mind yourself, and do not forget how to use your legs.
Ah, father, said Hansel. I'm looking at my little white cat, and she's sitting up on the roof and wants to say goodbye to me.
There's a cat, the wife said.
Oh, that is not your little cat. That's the morning sun which shining on the chimneys.
Hansel, however, had not been looking back at the cat, but had been constantly throwing one of the white pebble stones out of his pocket onto the road. When they had reached the middle of the forest, the father said, Now, children, pile up some wood. I will light a fire that you may not be cold. Hansel and Gretel gathered brushwood together as high as the little hill. The brushwood was lighted, and when the flames were burning high, the woman said,
Now, children, lay yourselves down to the fire and rest. We will go into the forest and cut some wood, and when we have done, we will come back and fetch you away.
Hansel and Gretel sat by the fire, and when noon came, ate a little piece of bread. As they heard the strokes of the wood axe, they believed the father was near. It was not, however, the axe. It was a branch which she had fastened to a withered tree, which the wind was blowing backwards and forwards. As they had been sitting such a long time, their eyes shut at night, and they fell fast asleep. When they awoke, it's already dark night. Gretel began to cry, How are you able to get out of the forest now? Hansel comforted her and said,
Just wait a little until the moon has risen, and then we'll find another way.
And when the full moon has risen, Hansel took his little sister by the hand and followed the pebbles which shone like newly coined silver pieces, and showed them the way. They walked the whole night long, and by break of day, come once more to their father's house. They knocked on the door, and when the woman opened it, they saw it was Hansel and Gretel. She said,
Ah! You naughty children! Why have you slept so long in the forest? We thought you were never coming back at all.
The father, however, rejoiced, and it cut him to the heart to leave them behind alone. Not long afterwards, there was one more great scarcity in all parts. If the children heard their mother saying at night to their father,
Everything's eaten again. We only have one half loaf left, and after that, there's no more. The children must go. We will take them farther to the wood so that they will not find their way out again. There's no means saving ourselves.
What a B-word! The man's heart was heavy, and he thought, It would be better for you to share the last mouthful with your children. The woman, however, would listen to nothing that he had to say, but scolded and reproached him. He who says A must say B. Likewise, he had yielded the first time, and had to do so second time so. The children, however, still awake and had heard their conversation. When the old folks were asleep, Hansel again got up and wanted to go out, pick up pebbles he had done before, but the woman had locked the door, and Hansel could not get out. Nevertheless, he comforted his little sister and said, Do not cry, Gretel. Go to sleep quietly, and the good God will help us. Early morning came the woman and took the children out of their beds. Their bit of bread was given to them, but it was smaller than time before. On the way to the forest, Hansel crumpled to his pocket, and often stood still threw a morsel on the ground. Hansel, why do you stop and look around? Said the father. Go on.
I am looking at the back of my pigeon which is sitting on the roof. It wants to say goodbye to me, answered Hansel. Simpleton, said the woman. That is not your little pigeon. That is the morning sun that is shining in the chimney.
Hansel, however, little by little, threw all the crumbs on the path. The woman led the children deeper into the forest, where they had never in their lives before. Then a great fire was made, and the mother said, "Just sit there, you children, and when you're tired, you may sleep a little. We're going to the forest and cut wood. And in the evening when we are done, we will come to fetch you away." When it was noon, Gretel shared her bread with Hansel, who had scattered his by the way. Then they fell asleep. The evening came and went, but no one came to help the poor children. They did not awake until dark night. Hansel comforted his sister and said, "Just wait, Gretel, until the moon rises. Then we shall see the crumbs of bread which I had strewn out. It will show us the way home again." But when the moon came, they set out, but found no crumbs, for the many thousands of birds which fly in the woods have picked them all out. Hansel said to Gretel, "We shall soon find a way." But they did not find it. They walked the whole night and all the next day too. From morning till evening, they could not get out of the forest and were very hungry, for they have nothing to eat but 2 or 3 berries which grew on the ground. As they were so weary that their legs could carry them no longer, they lay down beneath a tree and fell asleep. It was now 2 or 3 mornings since they had left their father's house. They began to walk again, but they always got deeper to the forest, and if help did not come soon, they would die of hunger and weariness. When it was midday, they saw a beautiful snow-white bird sitting up on a bough, which sang so delightfully that they stood still and listened to it. And when it had finished its song, it spread its wings and flew away before them, and they followed it until they reached a little house, on the roof which it alighted. And when they came quite up to the little house, they saw it was built of bread and covered with cakes, and the house were clearly of sugar. "We will set to work on that," said Hansel, "and have a good meal. I will eat a bit of the roof, and you, Gretel, can eat some of the window. It will taste sweet." Hansel reached up above and broke off the little roof to try how it tasted. Gretel leaned against the window and nibbled the panes. A soft voice cried out from the room. "What?" A soft voice cried out from the room. "Nibble, nibble now. Who's nibbling at my house?" The children answered, the wind, the heaven-born wind," and went on eating without disturbing themselves. Hansel, who thought the roof tasted very nice, tore a great piece of it, and Gretel, who pushed out one round of window pane, sat down and enjoyed herself with it. Suddenly, the door opened, and a very old woman who supported herself on crutches came creeping out. Hansel and Gretel were so terribly frightened that they let fall what they had on their hands. The old woman, however, nodded her head and said, "Oh, you dear children, who has brought you here? Do come in and stay with me. No harm shall happen to you." She took them both by the hand and led them to her little house. Then, good food was set before them, milk and pancakes with sugar, apples, and nuts. After 2 pretty little beds were covered with clean white linen, and Hansel and Gretel laid down them, and they thought they were in heaven. The old woman only pretended to be kind. She was in reality a wicked witch, who lay in wait for children, and had only built a house of bread in order to entice them here. When a child fell into her power, she killed it, cooked it, and ate it, and that was a feast day with her. Witches had red eyes, and cannot see far, but they have a keen scent like beasts, and were aware when human beings draw near. When Hansel and Gretel came into her neighborhood, she laughed maliciously, and said mockingly, "I have them. They shall not escape me again." Again, early in the morning, before the children were awake, she was already up. She saw both of them sleeping, looking so pretty with their plump red cheeks. She muttered to herself, "That will be a dainty mouthful." Then she seized Hansel with her shriveled hand, carried him to a little stable, shut him with a grated door. He might scream as he liked, that was of no use. When she went to Gretel, shook her till she woke, and cried, "Get up, lazy thing. Fetch some water and cook something good for your brother. He's in the stable outside. He's made to be fat, and when he is fat, I will eat him." Gretel began to weep bitterly, but it was all in vain. She was forced to do what the wicked witch ordered her. And now, the best food was cooked for poor Hansel, but Gretel got nothing but crab shells. Every morning, the woman crept to the little stable and cried, Hansel, stretch out your fingers that I may feel yeah, stretch out your finger that I may feel if you will soon be fat. Hansel, however, stretched out a little bone to her, and the woman, who had dim eyes, could not see it, and thought it was Hansel's finger, and was astonished that there was no way of fattening him. 4 weeks has gone by. Hansel stayed thin. She was seasoned and pain. She could not wait any longer. Now, Gretel, she cried to the girl, be active and bring some water. Let Hansel be fat or lean. Tomorrow I will kill him and cook him. Ah, how the poor little sister did lament, and she had to fetch the water, and how her tears flowed down her cheeks. Dear God, help us, she cried. If the wild beasts in the forest had devoured us, at least we should have died together. Just keep your noise to yourself, said the old woman. All that won't help you at all. Every morning, Gretel had to go out and hang up the cauldron with water and light the fire. We will bake first, said the old woman. I've already heated the oven and kneaded the dough. She pushed poor Gretel out of the oven, from which the flames of fire were already darting. Peep in, said the witch, and see if it's properly heated, so we can shut the bread in. Once Gretel was inside, she intended to shut the oven and let her bake in it. Then she would eat her too. But Gretel saw what she had in her mind and said, I don't know how I am to do it. How do you get in? Silly goose, said the old woman. The door is big enough. Just look, I can get in myself. And she crept up and thrust her head into the oven. Then, Gretel gave her a push that drove her far into it, shut the iron and fastened the bolt. Oh! Then she began to howl quite horribly. But Gretel ran away, and the goddess' wish was miserably burned to death. Gretel, however, ran like lightning to Hansel, opened his stable, and cried, Hansel, we are saved! The old witch is dead! Hansel sprang out like a bird from its cage when the door is opened to it. How did they rejoice and embrace each other? How did they rejoice and embrace each other, and dance about and kiss each other? As if they had no longer had any to fear of her, they went to the witch house, and in every corner stood chests of full pearls and jewels. These are far better than pebbles, said Hansel, and thrust in his pockets whatever got in. Gretel said, I, too, shall take something home with me. She filled her pinafore full. But for now we go away, said Hansel. We might get out the witch forest. Wait. When they had walked for 2 hours, they came to a great body of water. We can't get over, said Hansel. I see no footplank and no bridge. And no boats crosses either, answered Gretel. But a white duck swimming here. If I ask her, she will help us over. Then she cried, Little duck, do you see? Hansel and Gretel are waiting for you. There is never a plank or a bridge in sight. Take us across on your back so wide. The duck came by to them. Hansel seated himself on his back and told his sister to sit by him. No, said Gretel. That will be too heavy for the little duck. She shall take us across, one after the other. The good little duck did so, and when they were safely across and had walked for a short time, the forest seemed more and more familiar to them, and at length they saw afar their father's house. They began to run. They began to run, rushed into the parlor, and threw themselves into the father's arms. The man had known one happy hour since had left the children in the forest. The woman, however, was dead. Gretel emptied her pinafore until pearls and precious stones ran about the room, and Hansel threw one handful after the other of his pocket and added them. Then all anxiety was to an end, and they lived together in a perfect happiness. My tale is done. See the mouse run. Whoever catches it may make himself a big fur cap out of it. And that's the end of Hansel and Gretel. Okay, that was a bit longer. That was a bit longer than the previous one. And I'm surprised that they actually were able to get back home first try.
Been a while since I read this. I really forgot a lot of things. Wait, let me drink water. Ah, I need to refill my water soon. Hansel and Gretel. That's a simple story. Simple story of two kids got lost in the forest, eat a lot of stuff, outsmart the witch, and that's that. I can't believe the father was girl boss though. What was it again? What was it called again? Girl. What was it? By the stepmom. What was it called again? Girl keep gaslight girl boss. Got lost. Sure, got lost. Sure. Ayun, the mother girl keep gaslight girl boss. That's what it said. That's what it's called. That's what it's called. There. Oh my god. The mom did that. I can't believe it. Well, the mom is dead though. The mom died now. Yeah, the mom pretty died now. So yes. That's just actually, to be fair, I can't blame Hansel and Gretel to like try to eat the whole thing since they were pretty hungry. Yeah, they were pretty hungry. Hunger would drive someone, how do you say it? Hunger would really drive someone to do something really reckless just to get what they need to eat. They just do that. Or other than that, if you're really hungry, you're not you. You're not you when you're hungry. Oh my god. You're not you when you're hungry. Grab some food if you're hungry right now. If you're hungry, don't skip a meal. Yeah, don't skip a meal if you're hungry. That's like, no. Don't skip a meal at all. Okay? Because it's not exactly healthy to skip a meal. I'll be refilling. Yeah, it's also bad for health. Snickers no, it's not a Snickers sponsorship. It's just I just know you're not you when you're hungry. It's just the whole thing. I just remembered it was such a popular commercial when cable was a thing. It's a really popular commercial. We are not you when you're hungry. Go grab a Snickers. Personally though, I don't like Snickers. Personally. I tried it. I tried Snickers. It wasn't for me. I tried it. I didn't like the taste, but I can understand for those people who actually like it. I just don't like the whole, It's just, how do you say it? The caramel. I'm not fond of the caramel and the chocolate. The flavor. But it's just my... it's just my taste. Yeah, it's just my taste on it. Just my taste. I can understand people would like it, but I'm not fond of it. And I think it's an energy bar. That's why they said you're not you when you're hungry. You eat it, you get energized. I think it's an energy bar. I think I prefer... What energy bar was it? I used to have it a lot. Wait, is there... There is. I don't know if this exists. Oh, it's just candy? I thought it's an energy bar. Wait, all this time, Snickers is a candy? Are you serious? I really thought I thought it was an energy bar or something. What? I never know. I never knew that was I never knew. I never I never knew. I just assumed it's a freaking energy bar because it's a bar. Oh my god. I think I eat Milo energy Milo bar, yeah. Milo's breakfast cereal bar. That's what I eat. It's nice. But oh my gosh, I just discovered today that Snickers is not an energy bar. I really thought it was. I really thought it was an energy bar. My god. All this time? Someone does not have any experience with it. Clearly. I have no experience with it, clearly. My god. It's embarrassing. I'll be honest. It's embarrassing. I really thought that's how it works. I really thought. Well, that says I'm a dum-dum. I'm a nobilious dum-dum. I guess the more you know. Where's that thing? The more you know, that thing. Okay, I guess we can go for the Cinderella this time. A bit longer. We'll get a short break because we've been reading. Okay, Cinderella. Okay. Before I read Cinderella, let's have a short chat. It's going to be a long story, so short chat. I'm still surprised that's how energy that's not an energy bar. I'm surprised that's not an energy bar. My god, all this time I really thought it was an energy bar. Damn. Yeah, that one, yeah. It's been a while. I think was Cinderella like I've seen the live action Cinderella though. I've seen the live action Cinderella. I think it's fine by me. The live action Cinderella by Disney is alright. It's alright for me. It's alright. I guess it's just alright. It's okay. I guess it's okay. I prefer the. Oh my gosh! It reminds me there was a trilogy. There was a Cinderella trilogy by Disney. You haven't? It's still. The dress of Cinderella is pretty though. The dress is really pretty. Have you seen the other two? There were like Cinderella 2 and Cinderella 3. I don't remember much on 3. 3 is such a fleeting memory for me. 2 was a collection of short stories, I guess, in Cinderella. I think that was 2. Yeah, that was 2, and that was where one of the sisters is starting to be a kind person, I remember. No, you haven't? Oh my god. 3 is a good movie. 3 is a good movie. Since it's like a time travel movie. 3 is a good movie. It's a time traveling movie. Surprisingly, Disney made it good though. Since Disney's sequels, like animated sequels usually, are not exactly great. Hunchback of Notre Dame 2. We don't talk about the second Hunchback of Notre Dame. That's like not a beautiful story. Pocahontas 2 wasn't good too. Actually, Pocahontas was mess up. Mulan 2 was a huge no for me. Like, a lot of the Disney sequels aren't really that good. In my opinion. Hunchback of Notre Dame 2 was the worst. And there was like Atlantis 2. If you've seen the Disney Atlantis, there was a sequel. Atlantis 2. And I didn't like it at all. Just why? Just a huge why. It was just a huge why for me. Just a why moment. Why? The first one was already good. Atlantis 1 was good already. The first one. It's one of my favorites. I like a lot of underrated Disney films. Treasure Planet and Atlantis being one of them. I love it. Those are like one of my two top favorites. Sad though, they didn't get much attention, but those are like my favorites. I like them. Wait, I'll just get some water and I'll be right back since my jug is kinda empty. So while I'm going to be right back, remember to stay hydrated, everyone. I'll just fill up my jug, okay? Be right back. Okay, I'm back. I got myself a full jug of water. It's nice. Okay, that went wrong. That went down wrong. Ahem, excuse me. Yeah, I'm fine. Don't worry, I'm fine. I just drank water. And well, yeah. I drank it too fast. I think, yeah, I will remember. I was a bit, thirsty. It's so hot here, so I get thirsty easier. I get thirsty easier. So yeah. So hot. And it's so hot too. I get really okay. One thing to know about me, if like the surface is really hot, if like you see, I'm like literally underneath, right? I'm literally under the center of the earth, right? What comes up, like whatever's the climate up there, I can feel it from down here. It's really hot. That's why it's like if it's so hot on the surface, I know it's so hot in here. I know it's gonna be so hot on the surface as well. And if it rains, it will leak down here. And that's just an unfortunate thing. My God. It's really unfortunate, especially if there's like, I don't know, internet. Again, rain is my biggest enemy when it comes to streaming because of internet. That's why I really hope that every time I stream, there's no sudden rain, because even like the smallest of rain will really mess up the net. Will really mess it up. I wish my freaking familiar bought a better plan. Wi-Fi plan, my gosh. Hopefully. Oh, I really wish that my familiar bought a better Wi-Fi, but what can we do? We're stationed here in the best Blue Storm that have the best Wi-Fi in the world. Not really. The best Wi-Fi in the world is called PLDC. That's why. We need to get a better one if it's possible though. But it is what it is. What we can do. Anyway. Oh my gosh, it's so hot. Wait, let me just fix the freaking Just pick some. Okay. It's the best wife. It's a joke. It's just a joke. Wait, I just realized that. Is that a pun? Is that a pun? Was that a pun? Was that a pun without me realizing it? Oh my god, was that a pun? Was that a pun? Did I just make an intentional pun? Ah, thank you for the redeem, Gara. I'll drink. Again, I'll drink again. Thank you for the redeem. Thank you for the redeem. Wait, I'll drink. Ah, thank you for the redeem. Thank you. It was not an intentional pun. It usually slips past my head. These things really slip past my head. I would never think it's an intentional pun. My god, I would never think it's a pun. It's an intentional. Oh my god, I made an intentional pun. Then. Oh god, really hot. Why do you have to be so dang hot? Oh my god. It's making it hard to concentrate if it's really hot. Ah. Okay. It's a bit. Okay. Hopefully this works. Okay. Now where was I? For real. This time, Cinderella. This time. Cinderella or Cinderelli? Cinderelli. Okay. Okay, we'll start with Cinderella. The wife of a rich man fell sick, and as she felt that her end was drawing near, she called her only daughter to her bedside and said, "Dear child, be good and pious, and then the good God will always protect you. And I will look down on you from heaven and be near you." Wait, my mic. I backhanded my mic. Wait a minute. I backhanded my mic again. Wait. Okay. Whoops, I backhanded my mic while reading. Wait, I'll just... There. Okay. Whoops. My bad for the mic. My bad. Okay. This time, I won't backhand it. Then, she closed her eyes and departed. Every day, the maiden went out to her mother's grave and wept. And she remained pious and good. When winter came, the snow spread a white sheet over the grave, and when the spring sun had drawn it off again, the man had taken another wife. The woman brought 2 daughters into the house with her, who were beautiful and fair of face, but vile and black of heart. Now began the bad time. Bad time, I just know sans undertale. Bad time for the poor stepchild. "Is the stupid goose to sit in the parlor with us?" said they. "He who wants to eat bread must earn it. Out with the kitchen wench." They took her pretty clothes away from her, put an old gray bed gown on her, and gave her wooden shoes. "Just look at the proud princess, how decked out she is." They cried and laughed and led her into the kitchen. There she had to do the hard work from morning till night, get up before daybreak, carry water, light fires, cook and wash. Besides this, the sisters did her every imaginable injury. They mocked her and emptied her peas and lentils into the ashes, so she was forced to sit and pick them out again. In the evening, when she worked, In the evening, she had worked till she was weary and she had no bed to go, but had to sleep at the fireside beside the ashes. And since on that account she was always looking dusty and dirty, they had called her Cinderella. It happened that the father was once going to a fair and asked his 2 stepdaughters what he should bring back from them. "Beautiful dresses," said one. "Pearls and jewels," said the second. "And you, Cinderella, what will you have?" "Father, break off for me the first branch which knocks against your hat on the way home." So he bought beautiful dresses, pearls, and jewels for his two stepdaughters. On his way home, he was riding through a green thicket. A hazel twig brushed against him and knocked off his hat. Then, he broke off the branch and took it with him. When he reached home, he gave his stepdaughters the things which they wished for, and Cinderella he gave the branch from the hazel bush. Cinderella thanked him and went to her mother's grave and planted the branch on it. It wept so much that the tears fell down and watered on it. And it grew, however, and became a handsome tree. Thrice a day, Cinderella went and sat beneath it, and wept and prayed, and the little white bird always came onto the tree. If Cinderella expressed a wish, the bird threw down to her what she wished for. Well, dang! It happened, however, that the king appointed a festival which was to last 3 days, and to which all the beautiful young girls in the country were invited, in order that his son might choose himself a bride. When the two stepsisters that heard that they too were appear among the number, they were delighted, called Cinderella and said, "Comb our hair for us, brush our shoes, and fasten our buckle, for we are going to a festival at the king's palace." Cinderella obeyed but wept, because she too liked to go with them to the dance, and begged her stepmother aloud so. "You go, Cinderella," said she. "You are dusty and dirty and would go to the festival? You have no clothes and shoes, yet you would dance." However, Cinderella went on asking, and the stepmother said, "I have emptied a dish of lentils into the ashes for you. If you pick them up again 2 hours, you shall go with us." The maiden went through the back door into the garden and called, "You tame pigeons, you turtle doves, and all you birds beneath the sky, come help me pick." What? You tame The maiden went through back door into the garden and called, "You tame pigeons, you turtle doves, and all you birds beneath the sky, come and help me pick the good into the pot and the bad into the crop." Okay, the two white pigeons came to fly to the kitchen window, and afterwards the turtle doves, and at last all the birds beneath the sky, came whirring in, crowding in, and alighted among the ashes. The pigeons nodded their heads and began to pick, 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 and the rest also began to pick, 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 and gathered all the good grapes to the dish. Hardly had 1 hour passed before they had finished, they flew out again, and the girl took the dish out to her stepmother and was glad and believed that now she would be able to go to the festival. But the stepmother said, "No, Cinderella, you have no clothes and you cannot dance. You would only be laughed at." And as Cinderella wept this, the stepmother said, "If you can pick 2 dishes of lentils out of the ashes for me in 1 hour, you shall go with us." And she thought to herself, that she most certainly cannot do. When the stepmother had emptied the 2 dishes of lentils amongst the ashes, the maiden went through the back door to the garden and cried, "You tame pigeons, you turtle doves, all you birds under the heaven, come and help me pick the good into the pot, the bad into the crop." Then the 2 white pigeons came in by the kitchen window, afterwards the turtle doves, and at length all the birds beneath the sky. Wow! Came whirring in, crowding in, and alighted amongst the ashes, and the doves nodded with their heads and began to pick, 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 and the others also began to pick, 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 and gathered all the good seeds into the dishes. Before half an hour was over, they had already finished and flew out again. Okay, wait. Then the maiden carried the dishes to the stepmother and was delighted, believing that she might now go to the festival. But the stepmother said, "All this will not help you. You cannot go with us, for you have no clothes and cannot dance. We should be ashamed of you." With this, she turned her back on Cinderella and hurried away with her 2 proud daughters. As no one was now at home, Cinderella went to her mother's grave beneath the hazel tree and cried, "Shiver, quiver, little tree, silver and gold throw down over me." Then the bird threw a gold and silver dress down to her, and slippers embroidered with silk and silver. She put on the dress with all speed and went to the festival. Her stepsisters and stepmother, however, did not know her, and thought she must be a foreign princess, for she looked so beautiful in the golden dress. They never once thought Cinderella and believed she was sitting at home at dirt, picking out the lentils out of the ashes. The prince went to meet her, took her by the hand and danced with her. He would dance with no other maiden and never let go of her hand. If anyone else came to invite her, he said, "This is my partner." Ay, sweet naman. Sweet naman, oh. She danced till it was evening, and then she wanted to go home, but the king's son said, "I will go with you and bear you company," for he wished to see to whom the beautiful maiden belonged. She escaped from him, however, and sprang into the pigeon house. The king's son waited until her father came, and then he told him the strange maiden lived into the pigeon house. The old man thought, "Can't be Cinderella?" They had to bring him an axe and a pickaxe that he might hew the new pigeon house into pieces, but no one was inside of it. And when they got home, Cinderella lay in her dirty clothes among the ashes, and a dim little oil lamp was burning on the mantelpiece, where Cinderella had jumped quickly down from the back of the pigeon house and run to the hazel tree. And there she had taken off beautiful clothes and laid them on the grave. And the bird had taken them away again. And then she had placed herself in the kitchen amongst the shelves in her grey gown. The next day, when the festival began afresh, her parents and the stepsisters had gone once more. Cinderella went to the hazel tree and said, "Shiver and quiver, my little tree, silver and gold throw down to me." Then the bird threw down a much more beautiful dress than the preceding day. And when Cinderella appeared in the festival with this dress, everyone was astonished at her beauty. The king's son waited until she came and instantly took her by the hand and danced no one but her. When others came to invite her, he said, "She is my partner." When evening came, she wished to leave, and the king's son followed her and wanted to see to which house she went. But she sprang away from him and into the garden behind the house. There stood a beautiful tall tree which hung the most magnificent pears. She clambered so nimbly between the branches like a squirrel that the king's son did not know where she had gone. He waited until her father came and said to him, "The strange maiden had escaped from me, and I believe she climbed out of the pear tree." The father thought, Can it be Cinderella?" And the axe brought and cut the tree down, but no one was on it. And when they got into the kitchen, Cinderella lay there amongst the ashes as usual, for she jumped down on the other side of the tree, had taken the beautiful dress of the bird on the hazel tree, and put on her grey gown. On the third day, when her parents and sisters had gone away, Cinderella went once more to her mother's grave and said to the little tree, "Shiver and quiver, my little tree, silver and gold throw down over me." And now the bird threw down her dress, which was more splendid and magnificent than she ever yet had, and the slippers were golden. And when she went to the festival in the dress, no one knew how to speak for astonishment. The king's son danced with her only, and if anyone invited her to dance, he said, "She is my partner." When evening came, Cinderella wished to leave, and the king was so anxious to go with her, but he escaped from him so quickly he couldn't follow her. The king's son had, however, used a stratagem, and had caused the whole staircase to be smeared with pitch. And there, when she ran down, had the maiden's left slipper remained sticky, the king's son picked it up, and it was a small dainty and all golden. The next morning, he had brought it to the father and said to him, "No one shall be my wife but she whose foot fits in this golden slipper." Then the two sisters were glad, for they had pretty feet. The eldest went with the shoe in her room and wanted to try it on. Her mother stood by, but she could not. Oh my gosh! But she could not get her big toe into it, and the shoe was too small for her. Then her mother gave her. Oh my god! Yeah. The mother gave her a knife and said, "Cut the toe off. When you are queen, you will have no more need to go on foot." The maiden cut the toe off, forced the foot into the shoe, swallowed the pain, and went out to the king's son. Then he took her on his horse as bride and rode away with her. They were, however, obliged to pass a grave. And there, on the hazel tree, the two pigeons cried, "Turn and peep, turn and peep. There's blood within the shoe. The shoe is too small for her. The true bride waits for you." Then he looked at her foot and saw the blood was steaming from it. He turned his horse around and took the false bride home again. And she said she was not the true one. Where was I again? But the true one. That the other sister was to put the shoe on. Then this one went to her chamber and got her toes safely into the shoe, but her heel was too large. No! Her mother gave the knife. Oh my god! No, she can't. Oh my god! Oh my god! No! No! Ah! That's so painful! That's so painful! The mother gave her a knife and said, "Cut a bit of your heel. When you are queen, you will have no more need to go on foot." The maiden cut a bit of her heel. Ah! Oh my god! Oh my god, that's painful! That's painful! That's so painful! Forced her foot into the shoe, swallowed the pain, and went out with the king's son. He took her on his horse as his bride and rode away with her. But when they passed by the hazel tree, the two pigeons sat on it and cried, "Turn and peep, turn and peep. There's blood within the shoe. The shoe is too small for her. The true bride awaits for you." He looked down at her foot and saw the blood was running out of her shoe and how it stained her white stocking. Then he turned his horse and took the false bride home again. "This is also not the right one," said he. Have you no other daughter?" "No," said the man. "There is still a little stunt kitchen wench which my late wife left behind, but she can't possibly be the bride." The king's son said he was to send her up to him, but the mother answered, "Oh no, she's too much dirty. She cannot show herself." He absolutely insisted on it, and Cinderella had to be called. She first washed her hands and face clean, then went bow down before the king's son, who gave her the golden shoe. What was I again? Then she seated herself on a stool, drew her foot out of the heavy wooden shoe, and put it into a slipper which fit like a glove. And when she rose up, and the king's son looked at her face and recognized a beautiful maiden who danced with him and cried, "That is the true bride." The stepmother and the two sisters were terrified and became pale with rage. He, however, took Cinderella on his horse and rode away with her. As they passed by the hazel tree, the two white doves cried, "Turn and peep, turn and peep. There's no blood in the shoe. The shoe is not too small for her. The true bride rides with you." And when they cried that, the two came flying down and placed themselves on Cinderella's shoulder. One on the left, one on the right, and the other on the left, remaining sitting there. When the wedding with the king's son was celebrated, the two false sisters came out to get the favor of Cinderella and share her good fortune. When the betrothed went to the church, the elder was to pick the right side, the younger at the left. And the pigeons pecked. Oh my god! Oh my god! When the betrothed couple went to the church, the elder was at the right side and the younger at the left. And the pigeons pecked out one eye of each of them. Afterwards, as they came back, the elder one at the left and the younger at the right. And then the pigeons pecked out the other eye of each. And thus, for their wickedness and falsehood, they were punished with blindness as long as they lived. And that's the end of Cinderella. Okay, have fun working for that. Oh my gosh, it was bloodier than I remembered. Oh my gosh. How did the prince not notice? How do you not notice? Like, should you like notice it? Like, if you cut off a foot, won't you? Yeah, won't it? Like, won't the? And how did the father was like, this is a kitchen wrench. Are you serious? You're the one who gave birth to her? Looking for pizza is somewhat familiar. The father even's like, who is this? My daughter na. My daughter is a kitchen wrench na. Surely no. Was he freaking? Oh my god. The mom just died and the father just immediately, yeah, that's not my daughter. Are you serious? Are you serious, Father? Is the father really serious with that? Is the father really serious with that? Oh my god. Is it serious? Is it serious? Are you yeah, that too. Looking for pizza is someone familiar. Surely they spoke. Surely they even spoke. Surely they spoke. It's not like Cinderella did not spoke with the entire time in the ball or something. At least the difference here, they use, instead of gold, they use glass in the Disney. And it's color blue instead of gold. Why did they change it? Maybe it's more majestic looking? I don't know. But yeah, oh my gosh. Cutting the foot? Okay. The toe? Okay, I guess. But the heel? You won't be able to walk again. Ever. Like, at all. That's so painful. Oh my god. Yeah. That's so painful. Oh my gosh. It's just the thought of it. Just the thought of it. It's so painful. Just cut. My god. They weren't grim. It was really grim after all. It's really grim. It's really grim. The Brothers Grimm fairy tales is really grim. Oh. The first version I know was like the movie, and then I just searched it up. I forgot this how I remember it was the version after Disney I read was something like this, but I just forgot. I forgot that it's like this. There are like a lot of fairy tales that have been changed for a modern audience. Again, have I told you my favorite fairy tale? I think I told my favorite fairy tale. I told my favorite fairy tale already. But for those who don't know, my favorite fairy tale is Pied Piper. That's my favorite one. My favorite fairy tale. Like of all time, it's Pied Piper. I just really like the story of Pied Piper so much. It's just a simple story, and yet I've seen some of the newer versions. Like I checked. The children were returned to the town, which I was not a fan of that version at all. I prefer like the previous ones where the children never returned. I prefer that one. Like, it's just a personal gripe on it. It's just a personal thing. Nothing more, nothing less. Is Beauty and the Beast here? I forgot what it's called. Let me check. Beauty and the Beast is here. Oh, there's Snow White. There's Snow White. Nice. There's Snow White. Okay, let's see. Let's see. Okay, there's Little Red. There's so many hands. Yeah, there's so many hands in here. Okay, let's try something non-famous. Let's try something not famous. This one. Let's try something not famous. I don't know. Yeah, not famous-ish. Fairy tale. Let's try this one. 379. Wait, 379. Wait, where is it? 379. 379. Oh my god. Oh my gosh. Whoa, wait. Okay. This one. This is a story called Old Hildebrand. I think I butchered it. Am I right? Old Hildebrand? Wait, this is how you pronounce it? Is this how you pronounce it? I'm not sure if that's how you pronounce it. But we're gonna... This one, a not so known one. Old Hildebrand. Okay. Because Cinderella was pretty long. I guess this is short enough. Yeah, this is short. Oh my gosh, I think I'm gonna... Wait, Hildebrand. Hildebrand? Wait, I will type the spell. I will type it. Hildebrand. There, Hildebrand. Is this how you pronounce it? Hildebrand? Is that how you spell it? Pronounce it? Is this how you pronounce it? We're gonna try something not... Oh, okay. Okay, let's start with the Hildebrand. Okay. Old Hildebrand. Once upon a time, lived a peasant and his wife, and the person of the village had a fancy for the wife. Had they wished for a long while to spend the whole day happy with her, the peasant woman too was quite willing. One day, therefore, he said to the woman, "Listen, my dear friend, I have now thought of a way by which we can for once spend the whole day happy together. I'll tell you what. On Wednesday, you must take your bed and tell your husband you are ill. And if you only complain and act ill being proper, and being ill act what? And if you only complain and act being ill properly, and go on doing so until Sunday when I have to preach, I will then say in my sermon that whoever has at home a sick child, a sick husband, a sick wife, a sick father, a sick mother, a sick brother, or whoever else may be, and makes a privilege to Gockerly Hill in Italy, where you can get a peck of flower leaves for a Hilzer, the sick child, the sick husband, the sick wife, the sick father, the sick mother, and the sick sister, or whoever else may be, will be start to help immediately." Oh my god. Right. "I will manage it," said the woman promptly. Now therefore on Wednesday. You got different Google results? Oh my. How different? How is it different? "I will manage it," said the woman I will manage it, said the woman promptly. Now therefore on Wednesday, the peasant woman took to her bed and complained, lamented as agreed on. Her husband did everything for her that he could think of, but nothing did her any good. And when Sunday came, the woman said, "I feel as ill as if I were going to die at once. But there is one thing I should like to do before my end. I would like to hear the parson's sermon that is going to preach today." And at that peasant said, "Ah, my child, do not do it. You might make yourself worse if you get up. Look, I will go to the sermon and will attend to it very carefully. I will tell you everything the parson says." Well, said the woman. Go then, and pay great attention, and repeat to me all that you hear. So the peasant went to the sermon. Oh my god, not again. And the parson began to preach and said, If anyone at home, if anyone had at home a sick child, a sick husband, a sick wife, a sick father, a sick mother, a sick sister, brother, or anyone else, would make a pilgrimage to Gockerli Hill in Italy, where a peck of laurel leaves was a cruiser, the sick child, sick husband, sick wife, sick father, sick mother, sick sister, brother, or whoever else may be, would be restored to health instantly. And whoever wished to undertake a journey was to go with him after the service was over, and he would give him the sack of laurel leaves to the cruiser. Then, no one was more rejoiced than the peasant. After the service was over, he went one to the parson, who gave him a bag for the laurel leaves and the cruiser. After that, he went home. Even to the house door, he cried, "Hurrah! Dear wife, it is now almost the same thing as if you were well. The parson has preached today that whoever at home had a whoever at home had a sick child, sick husband, sick wife, sick father, sick mother, sick sister, brother, or whoever it may be, and would make a pilgrimage to Gockerli Hill in Italy, where a peck of laurel leaves was a cruiser, the sick child, sick husband, sick wife, sick father, sick mother, sick sister, brother, or whoever else it was, would be cured immediately. Now, I've already got the bag and the cruiser from the parson, and will once begin my journey so that you may get well faster. There, upon he went away. He was, however, hardly gone before the woman got up, and the parson was, oh my god, no! 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 He was, however, hardly gone before the woman got up, and the parson was there directly. But now we will leave these two for a while and follow the peasant, who walked on quickly without stopping, or to get sooner to Gockerli Hill. And on his way, he met his gossip. His gossip was an egg merchant, and was coming from the market, where he had sold his eggs. May you be blessed, said the gossip. Where are you off to in fast? All to eternity, my friend, said the peasant. My wife is ill, and have been today to hear the parson's sermon. He preached that if anyone, freaking hell, if anyone in his house had a sick child, a sick husband, a sick wife, a sick father, a sick mother, a sick sister, brother, or anyone else, and made a pilgrimage to Gockerli Hill in Italy, where a peck of laurel leaves was a cruiser, the sick child, sick husband, and sick wife, and the sick father, the sick mother, sick sister, or brother, and whoever else it was, would be cured immediately. And so I've got a bag for the laurel leaves and cruiser from the parson, and now I'm beginning my pilgrimage. But listen, gossip, said the egg merchant to the peasant. Are you then stupid enough to believe the things such as that? Don't you know what it means? The parson wants to spend the whole day alone with your wife in peace. So he given you this job in order to get you out of the way. My word, said the peasant. How would I like to know if that's true? Come then, said the gossip. I'll tell you what to do. Get into my egg basket and I will carry you home. And then you will see for yourself. So that was settled. The gossip put the peasant into his egg basket and carried him home. When they got to the house, hurrah! But it was all going merry there. The woman had already nearly killed everything that was in the farmyard and had made pancakes. And the parson was there and had brought the fiddle with him. The gossip knocked on the door, and the woman asked who's there. It is I, gossip, said the egg merchant. Give me shelter this night. I have not sold my eggs to the market, so I have to carry them home again. They are so heavy, and they are so heavy that I shall never be able to do it. for it is dark already. Indeed, my friend, said the woman, you've come a very inconvenient time for me, but you are here, can't be helped. Come in, and take a seat on the bench by the stove. There, she placed the gossip in the basket which she carried on his back on the bench by the stove. The parson, however, and the woman were as merry as possible. At length, the parson said, listen, my dear friend, you can sing beautifully. Sing something for me. Oh, said the woman, I cannot sing now. In my young days indeed, I could sing well enough, but that is all over now. Come, said the parson once more, do sing a little song. And that woman began and sung, I've sent my husband away from me to the Gockerly Hill in Italy. Thereupon the parson sang, I wish 'twas a year before he came back. I'd never ask him for the louder sack. Hallelujah. Then the gossip was in the background began to sing. But I ought to tell you that the peasant was called Hildebrand. So the gossip sang, What are you doing? What are you doing, my Hildebrand dear? There on the bench by the stove so near, hallelujah. And then the peasant sang from his basket, all the singing I ever shall hate from this day. And here in this basket no longer I shall stay, hallelujah. And he got out of this basket and cudgeled the parson out of the house. That's the end of the story. I'm not joking. That felt like a trip. What just happened? What just happened in that story? I'm sorry? What just happened? What on earth just happened? Because what? I'm sorry? I have no idea what on earth just happened. It felt like what? What? I'm sorry? I did not catch anything at all? What? What? Okay, thoughts. Thoughts though. Thoughts. Because I have no idea what on earth just happened. What just happened? What just happened with the... What? I am so confused. I am so confused. I am so confused. What just happened? So the priest, the parson, the parson wanted the time. Huh? I am so confused. I am very confused. I'm so sorry. I am very confused. I am... So, Sim, what did you get from the Google search? Oh my god. What just happened? I swear. Does the story we read... Oh, okay. Thank you for dropping by. Thank you. Thank you for dropping... Really? Yeah, it's the Mr. Steal Your Girl! My god. Just why? Well, makes sense why the man will be mad. Why the man will be mad? Who wouldn't? Who wouldn't be mad? Who really wouldn't be mad by that? Like, for real though. Who wouldn't be? Just know. Ahem. Okay. Let's see. Let's see what else we have here. Let's see what else we have here. I think I mentioned something before. Where is it? Oh my gosh, one is 10 pages. Never mind. One is 10 pages long. That's so long. Let's see. No. How about this one? The Wolf and the Seven Little Kids. This is it's one of the stories I know. The Wolf and the Seven Kids. Okay, I'll drink a bit of water. Yeah, I'll drink a bit of water first. Wait. Seriously though, I don't know what happened to the old Hildebrand. It doesn't. I know the story. I read it before. The old Hildebrand story was something else. I don't know what to... I really don't know what to make of it. I really don't know what to make of it. I really don't know. I am so confused. Like, how? I am confused very much. I can't say if it's kinda wholesome or not. I can't say it, but it's okay. Oh god. Okay. We'll start. It's okay. The story is okay, but not that it's I can't say if it's completely wholesome or not. I can't say. But okay. I'll continue it. The Wolf and the Seven Little Kids. There once one blah blah blah. I already messed up. First go. Messed up already. There was once upon a time an old goat who had 7 little kids and loved them all with the love of a mother of her children. One day, she wanted to go to the forest and fetch some food. So she called all 7 to her and said, "Dear children, I have to go into the forest. Be on your guard against the wolf. If he comes in, he will devour you all, skin, hair, and all. The wretch often disguises himself, but you will know him once with his rough voice and his black feet." The kids say, "Dear mother, we will take good care of ourselves. You may go away without anxiety." Then, the old one bleated and went on her way with an easy mind. It was not long before someone knocked on the door and said, "Open the door, dear children. Your mother is here and had brought something back with her for each of you." But the little kids knew it was the wolf by the rough voice. "We will not open the door," cried they. "You are not our mother. She has a soft, pleasant voice, but your voice is rough. You are the wolf." Then the wolf went away to a shopkeeper and bought himself a great lump of chalk, ate this, and made his voice soft with it. Then he came back, knocked on the door of the house, and cried, "Open the door, dear children. Your mother is here and has brought something back for each and one of you." But the wolf had laid his black paws against the window, and the children saw them and cried, "We will not open the door. Our mother has not black feet like you. You are the wolf." Then the wolf ran to the baker and said, "I have hurt my feet. Rub some dough over them for me. And what? I have hurt my feet. Rub some dough over them for me. And when the baker had rubbed some dough over, rubbed his feet over, he ran to the miller and said, strew some white meal over my feet for me. The miller thought to himself, the wolf must deceive someone, and refuse. But the wolf said, if you do not do it, I will devour you. Then the miller was afraid and made his paws white for him. Yes, that's how people are. And so now the wretch went for a third time, slammed onto the door and knocked and said, open the door for me, children. Your dear little mother has come home and has brought every one of you something back from the forest with her. The little kids cried, first, show us your paws that we may know you're our dear little mother. Then he put his paws through the window, and when the kids saw that they were white, they believed that all he said was true, and opened the door. But who would come in but the wolf? They were terrified, wanted to hide themselves. One sprang under the table, the second into bed, the third into the stove. Mom is back. Mom is back, but not the way they wanted. Fourth into the kitchen, fifth into the cupboard, sixth under the washing bowl, and seventh in the clock case. But the wolf found them and used no great ceremony. One after the other, he swallowed them down his throat. The youngest, who was in the clock case, was the only one he did not find. When the wolf had satisfied his appetite, he took himself off, laid himself down under a tree in a green meadow outside, and began to sleep. Soon afterwards, the old goat came home again from the forest. Ah! What a sight she saw there! The door stood wide open. The table, chairs, and benches were thrown down. The washing bowl lay broken to pieces. The quilts and pillows were pulled off the bed. She sought her children, but they were nowhere to be found. She called them one by one after their name, but no one answered. At last, when she came to the youngest, a soft voice cried, "Dear mother, I'm at the clock case." She took the kid out, and it told her that the wolf had come in and eaten all the others. Then you may imagine how she wept over her poor children. At the length of grief she went out, and the youngest kid ran with her. When they came to the meadow, there the wolf lay by a tree and snored so loud that the branches shook. She looked at him on every side and saw something was moving and struggling in his gorged belly. "Ah, heavens!" said she. "Is it possible that my poor children, whom he swallowed down for his supper, can still be alive?" Then, the kid had to run home and fetch scissors, a needle and a thread, and the goat cut open the monster's stomach. Hardly had she made one cut than one little kid thrust his head out. When she cut farther, all six sprang out one of the other, and they were all alive. They had suffered no injury whatsoever, for in his greediness that the monster had swallowed them down whole. What rejoicing there was! They embraced their dear mother and jumped like a sailor in his wedding. Her mother, however, said, "Now, go look for some big stones. We will fill the wicked beast's stomach with them while he is asleep." Then, the 7 kids dragged the stones there with all speed, and put many of them into his stomach as they could get in. And the mother sewed him up again in greatest haste, so that he was not aware of anything and never once stirred. When the wolf at length had his sleep out, he got on his legs, and the stones on his stomach made him thirsty. He wanted to go well to drink, but when he began to walk and move about, the stones on his stomach knocked against each other and rattled. Then cried he, "What rumbles and tumbles against my poor bones? I thought it was 6 kids, but it's not but big stones." Then he got to the well and stooped over for the water and was about to drink. The heavy stones made him fall in, and there was no help, but he had to drown miserably. When the 7 kids saw that, they came running to the spot and cried aloud, "The wolf is dead! The wolf is dead!" and danced for joy around the well with their mother. The end. That's the story of the goat, of the wolf, and the 7 little kids. The end. The wolf died via drowning. Well, how many body count? What's the body count for today? I think the body count keeps increasing per tale. My God. Well then. Yep, the body count increased again. Wait, there was... How many people were already harmed just by reading this? How many? How many characters were harmed already? I don't think there's a solid number. There is no solid number. They said there were like numerous. One push got the highest. Yeah, true to the highest. The rest were like injuries. I think the rest were like bodily injuries. Yeah, I think they were like the others are injuries. Rapunzel had the blind. Cinderella had the feet thing. Hansel and Gretel had the body count though. It's just one. No, two. The mother and the witch. Two. The wolf is one. Yeah, the witch and the wife. Sleeping Beauty, yes, the thorn. Oh, Snow White! We haven't touched Snow White yet. The weirdest one of them all was old Hildebrand. That was like the weird story. Like, what just happened? It felt like everything just felt like a wild story. Like, you shall not cheat with your significant other. That's the basically gist of it. I think the old Hildebrand deck or fought the parson. I think that's what he did. Fought the parson. Let's see what's next. We could try Sleep. That's not Sleeping Beauty. Snow White. Now where was it? I saw it earlier. Where was it? Oh my gosh, where was it? I saw it earlier. Oh, 12 Brothers. Let's see, how about that one? Let's see, how long is that? It's not that long, 12 Brothers. Let's see. Okay. 12 Brothers. Surely no one will die, right? Right? Okay. Okay, the 12 brothers. Wait, let me drink first. Let me drink. Okay. That's nice. Okay, the 12 brothers. There was once upon a time a king and a queen who lived happily together and had 12 children, but they were all boys. Then the king said to his wife, "If the 13th child which you are about to bring to this world is a girl, the 12 boys shall die, in an order that her possessions may be great, that the kingdom may fall to her alone." What? What? Already? We're already talking about that. Okay. He caused likewise, I don't even know. He caused likewise 12 coffins to be made, which were already filled with shavings, and each lay a pillow for the dead, and he had them taken up to a locked room. Then he gave the queen the key of it, and bade her not to speak of this to anyone. Take 12 to the pot. We haven't even started yet, and then immediately, bam, 12 already. The mother, however, now sat and lamented all day long, until the youngest son, who was always with her, and whom she had named Benjamin from the Bible, said to her,
Dear mother, why are you so sad? Dearest child, she answered, I may not tell you. But he let her have no rest until she went and unlocked the room and showed him the 12 coffins ready filled with shavings. Then she said, My dearest Benjamin, your father had these coffins made for you and for your 11 brothers. For if I bring a little girl to the world, you are all to be killed and buried with them. Jeez, what's with this? And as she wept while she was saying this, the son comforted her and said, Weep not, dear mother, we will save ourselves and go away. But she said, Go forth into the forest with your 11 brothers, and let one sit constantly on the highest tree which can be found, and keep watch, looking towards to the tower here in the castle. If I give birth to a little son, I will put a white flag. Then you may venture to come back, but if I bear a daughter, I will hoist a red flag, then fly away as quickly as you are able, and may the good God protect you. Every night, I will rise up and pray for you. In winter, that you may be able to warm yourself at a fire, and in summer, you may be faint away in heat. After she had blessed her sons, they went forth into the forest. They each kept watch in turn and sat on the highest oak and looked towards the tower. When 11 days has passed and turn came to Benjamin, he saw the flag was being raised. It was, however, not white, but a blood-red flag which announced that they were all going to die. Jeez, okay, they're all going to die. When the brothers heard that, they were very angry and said, Are we all to suffer death for the sake of a girl? We swear that we'll avenge ourselves. When we find a girl, her red blood shall flow. Thereupon, they went deeper into the forest, and in the midst of it, where it was the darkest, they found a little bewitched hut, which was standing empty. Then said they, Here we will dwell, and you, Benjamin, who are the youngest and weakest, you shall stay at home and keep house. We others will go out to get food. Then they went into the forest and shot hares, wild deer, birds, and pigeons, and whatever was there to eat. This they took to Benjamin, who had to dress them in order that they might appease their hunger. They lived together for 10 years in the little hut, and that time did not appear long to them. The little daughter which their mother queen had given birth to was now grown up. She was good of heart, fair of face, and had a golden star on her forehead. Wow, she has a golden star. Dang! She's a golden star! Once, when the big washing had done, he saw 12 men's shirts among things and asked her mother, To whom do these 12 shirts belong? For they are too small for father. Then, the queen answered with a heavy heart, Dear child, these belong to your 12 brothers. Said the maiden, Where are my 12 brothers? I have never yet heard of them. Ahem, she replied, God knows where they are. They're wandering about the world. Then she took the maid and opened the chamber for her, and showed her the 12 coffins with shavings and pillows for the head. These coffins, said she, were destined for your brothers, but they were sent secretly away before you were born. And she related to her how everything had happened and said to the maiden, Dear mother, weep not. I will go and seek my brothers. And so, she took the 12 shirts and went forth, straight into the great forest. She walked the whole day, and in the evening she came to a bewitched hut. Then she entered and found a young boy who asked, Where do you come from? Where are you bound? And was astonished she was so beautiful, wore royal garments, and had a star on her forehead. And she answered, I am the king's daughter. I am seeking my 12 brothers. I will walk as far as the sky is blue until I find them. And likewise she showed him the 12 shirts which belonged to them. Then Benjamin saw that she was his sister, and said, I am Benjamin, your youngest brother. And she began to weep for joy, and Benjamin wept also. They kissed and embraced each other with the greatest love. But after this he said, Dear sister, there is still one difficulty. We have agreed to that every maiden... What? What? I'm sorry, dear sister, there is still one difficulty. We have agreed that every maiden whom we meet shall die because we have been obliged to leave our kingdom on account of a girl. Then said she, I will willingly die, if by so doing I can save my 12 brothers. No, answered he, you shall not die. Seat yourself beneath this tub until our 11 brothers come, and then I will soon come to an agreement with them. She did so, and when it was night, the others came from hunting, and their dinner was ready. So Benjamin became the house one, I guess. And they were sitting at the table eating. They asked, what news is there? Said Benjamin. Don't you know anything? No, they answered. He continued, have you been to the forest and you have stayed at home, yet I know more than you do? Tell us then, they cried. He answered, but promise me that the first maiden who meets us shall not be killed. Yes, they all cried. She shall have mercy, only do tell us. Then said he, our sister is here. And he lifted up the tub. The king's daughter came forth in her royal garments with a golden star on her forehead, and she was beautiful, delicate, and fair. Then they were all rejoiced, hugged, and kissed and loved her with all their hearts. Now she stayed at home with Benjamin and helped him with the work. The 11 went to the forest, caught game, deer, birds, and wood pigeons that they may have for food. And the little sister and Benjamin took care and made ready for them. She sought food for the cooking and herbs for the vegetables, and put the pan on the fire so that the dinner was always ready when the 11 came. She likewise kept order in the little house and put beautifully white clean coverings on the little beds. The brothers were always content to live in harmony with her. Once on a time, the two were at home and prepared a beautiful meal. And when they were all together, they sat down, ate, and drank, and were full of gladness. There was, however, a little garden belonging to the bewitched house, which there were 12 lily flowers, which likewise called Student. She wished to give her brothers pleasure and plucked the 12 flowers. She thought she would present each brother with one with dinner. But at the same moment, she plucked the flowers, and the 12 brothers were changed into ravens and flew away into the forest, and the house and garden vanished likewise. And now the poor maiden was all alone in the forest. When she looked around, an old woman was standing near her, who said, my children, what have you done? Why did you not leave the 12 white flowers growing? They were your brothers, who are now forevermore changed to ravens. The maiden said weeping, is there no other way of saving them? No, said the woman, but there is one in the whole world. And that is so hard that you will not succeed at it. For you must be dumb for 7 years, and you may not speak or laugh. And if you speak one word, and an hour by your 7 years of this one thing, all is in vain, and your brothers will be killed by one word. That's a high risk one. Then the maiden said in her heart, I know with a certainty I shall set my brothers free. And she went and sought a high tree, and she sat spinning. She neither spoke nor laughed. Now it happened that a king was hunting the forest, who had a great greyhound which ran the tree on the maiden was sitting, and sprang about it, whining and barking at her. Then the king came by and saw the beautiful king's daughter with a golden star on her brow, and was also charmed by her beauty, that he called her to ask if she would be his wife. She made no answer, but nodded a little with her head. So he climbed up to himself and carried her down, placed her on his throne, and took her home. And then the wedding was solemnized with a great magnificence and rejoicing, but the bride neither spoke nor smiled. When they lived happily together for a few years, the king's mother, who was a wicked woman, began to slander the young queen, and said to the king, this common beggar girl whom you have brought back with you, who knows what impious tricks that she practices secretly, even if she's dumb and not able to speak, she still might laugh for once, for those who not laugh have bad consequences. At first, the king could not believe it, but
The old woman urged this so long and accused her of so many evil things that at last the king let himself be persuaded and sentenced her to death. And now a great fire was lighted in the courtyard, which she was to be burned. And the king stood above the window and looked on with tearful eyes, because he still loved her so much. And when she was burned fast to the stake, fire was licking her clothes and red with its red tongue. And with the last instant of the 7 years expired, a whirring sound was heard in the air. 12 ravens came flying towards the place and sank downwards. For when they touched the earth were her 12 brothers whom she had saved. They tore the fire asunder and extinguished the flames and set their dear sister free, kissed and embraced her. And now she dared open her mouth and speak. She told the king why she had been dumb and never laughed. The king rejoiced. Hello! Thank you for the follow, Trim Martsy. Thank you for the follow. Hello, thank you for the follow. Thank you. We're just finishing the story. And now she had dared... where was I? Okay. The king rejoiced when he heard that she was innocent, and they all lived great unity until their death. The wicked stepmother was taken before the judge, and was put into a barrel filled with boiling oil with venomous snakes, and died an evil death. The end. That's the end of the 12 brothers. We have another body count in our midst. Hello, Tri Marty. Hello, hi. How are you doing? Hello. We just finished 12 brothers, the story. So one died. That's another to the body count. So fairy tale reading, or is it are we fairy tale reading or body count? Counting the bodies that died already. We're gonna read Snow White next. This is, oh my gosh, I can't believe it. I thought it's gonna be a wholesome fairy tale reading, and then we end up freaking counting the bodies now. So far, I think the next story we're gonna pick is... Let's see, I'm trying to guess which one does not have a body count. I'm guessing which one. Let's see. Okay, let's see. Where is it? I know they're not wholesome, but hopefully, like, at least we got something. Something wholesome? Hopefully. Hopefully, though. Okay. The Hair's Bride. This is short. This is 2 pages. The Hair's Bride. 282. Wait. This sounds okay. The Hair's Bride. It's just 2 pages. It's pretty short. Okay. This is a really short story. 2 pages. It's not even 2 pages. It's like 1 page. Same! I gagged at Cinderella. Oh my god. No, it's not wholesome. How they cut their feet and their heel. No, just no. They cut that thing off. My god. Just disturbing. Hopefully this one is wholesome. It's The Hair's Bride. Surely it's wholesome this time. Surely. Surely, right? Right? I pray and hope it's gonna be wholesome. I pray and hope. Okay, let's start with The Hair's Bride. There once was a I just think of the Wellerman. Sure. Yeah, The Hair's Bride sounds fine, right? Okay. There once was a woman and her daughter who lived in a pretty garden with cabbages, and a little hare came into it. During the winter time, ate all the cabbages. Then, says the mother to the daughter, "Go into the garden and chase the hare away." The girl says to the little hare, Shush, hare, are you still eating up all our cabbages?" Says the hare, excuse me.
Come, maiden, seat yourself on my little hare tail, and come with me into my little hare hut. The girl will not do it. The next day, the hare comes again and eats the cabbages. Then, the mother said to the daughter, Go to the garden and drive the hare away. The girl says to the hare, Shush, shush, little hare. You are still eating all the cabbages. The little hare says, Maiden, seat yourself on my little hare's tail, and come with me to my little hare's hut. The maiden refuses. The third day, the hare comes again and eats the cabbages. At this, the mother says to the daughter, Go to the garden and chase the hare away. The maiden, Shush, shush, little hare. You're still eating all our cabbages. Says the little hare, Come, maiden, seat yourself on my little hare's tail, and come with me my little hare's hut. The girl seats herself on the little hare's tail, and the hare takes her away into his little hut, and says, Now, cook green cabbage and millet seed. Sauce already. I will invite the wedding guests. Then, all the wedding guests assembled. Who were the wedding guests? That I can tell you, as another told me. They were all hares, and the crow was there as the parson to marry the bride and the bridegroom, and the fox as the clerk, and the altar was under the rainbow. The little girl, however, was sad, for she was alone. The little hare comes and said, Open the doors. Open the doors. The wedding guests are merry. The bride says nothing but weeps. The little hare goes away. The little hare comes back and says, Take off the lid. Take off the lid. The wedding guests are hungry. The bride again says nothing and weeps. The little hare goes away. The little hare comes back and says, Take off the lid. Take off the lid. The wedding guests are waiting. Then, the bride says nothing. The hare goes away, but she dresses a straw doll in her clothes and gives her a spoon to steer with, and sets her by the pan with the millet seed and goes back to her mother. The little hare comes once more and says, Take off the lid, take off the lid, and gets up, strikes the doll on the head so that her caps fell off. Then the little hare sees that it's not his bride and goes away and is sorrowful. The end. That's the story of the little hare's bride. You just don't. Oh, did the hare just basically just catch the girl and want to marry her? That's a story. That's it. That's a story. The hare was pretty sus. You're right, Chi. The hare was sus. The hare was sus all this time. Well, at least no one died, right? That was the best part. No one died. Right? Right? No one died, right? Right? I guess? Right? But that happened. That happened. But you're right, the hare was pretty sus. So the hare wanted to marry the girl, but that he what? So but the story never said anything. The story never said anything who died. I'm adding one. Okay, Sim, how many are there already? How many are there already, Sim? If you're the one keeping count, how many are already? I didn't count eh. I drank water, wait. Nice. Okay, drank water. How many is that to the pile? That was a really short, yet she's right. That's a cryptic story. That's a really short and cryptic story. Okay, what's next? 5 plus 8 Yeah, you're right. So it's basically 5 plus x. That's it. It's basically 5 plus x. Got it. Got it. 5 plus x. We don't know how many
You don't know how many princes died. You just said a lot though. Okay, so let's try The Godfather. 169. 169, okay. The Godfather. Isn't that a film? I haven't watched it. The Godfather. Where is that? Oh my gosh, 169. Wait, what? 2 pages? Oh, it's just 2 pages. I have yet to watch it. Though. Yeah, it's not the same thing. I just remember the movie. Okay, they're like... Okay. The Godfather. Oh god, it's hot. Wait, it's so hot. Okay. 5 plus infinite princes. Got it. Okay. A poor man had so many children that he had already asked everyone in the world to be a godfather. And when still another child was born, no one else was left whom he could invite. He knew not what to do, and in his perplexity, he lay down and fell asleep. Okay. Have fun eating, Chi. Have fun. This is gonna be my last story, I guess. Because I gotta do... My last story is the last story. This is the last story. And then he dreamt that he must go... Actually, the last story would be Snow White. The last story after this is Snow White. The last one. Where was I again? Then he dreamt that he was about to go outside the gate and asked the first person who met him to be a godfather. When he awoke, he was determined to obey his dream. And he went outside the gate and asked the first person who came up to meet the godfather. The stranger presented him with a little glass of water and said, "This is one wonderful water. With it, you can heal the sick, but only you must see where death is standing. If he's standing by the patient's head, give the patient some water and he will be healed. But if the death is standing by his feet, all trouble will be in vain, for the sick man must die." Well, already we're gonna count this one. From this time forth, the man can always see whether patients will be saved or not, and became famous for his skill and earned a great deal of money. Once, he was called to by the child of the king. When he entered, he saw death standing by the child's head and cured with water. And he did the same for the second time, but the third time the death was standing by his feet. Hi, Jangpo! Welcome! Welcome to the stream. Welcome. Yeah, we're actually dealing with death this time. Okay. Welcome, Jangpo. Where's the stream? We're just reading the Godfather. The fairy tale, not the film. The Godfather fairy tale. But the third time, death was standing by its feet. And then he knew the child was meant to die. Sim, add that to the counter. That's one death to the counter. Once the man, he thought he could visit his godfather and tell him how he had succeeded with the water. But when he entered the house, it was such a strange establishment. On the first flight of stairs, the broom and shovel were disputing, knocking each other about violently. He asked them, "Where does the godfather live?" The broom replied, "1 flight stairs higher up." And when he came to the second flight, he saw a heap of dead fingers lying. He asked, "Is that another count? Is that another count? That's another count. The fingers are another count." "Where does Godfather live?" One of the fingers replied, "1 flight of the stairs higher. On the third flight, there are a heap of dead skulls." I don't know how many is that. That's another infinity. That's another infinity, which again directed him to flight beyond. On the fourth flight, he saw fishes on fire, which frizzled in the pans and baked themselves. They too said one flight stairs higher. And when he had ascended the fifth, he came to the door of a room and peeped through the keyhole. And there he saw the godfather with hair-long horns. What? When he opened the door and went in, the godfather got into bed in a great fear and covered himself up. Then said the man, Sir Godfather, what strange household you've here. When I came to the first flight of stairs, the shovel and the broom were quarreling, beating each other violently. How stupid you are, said the godfather. That was the boy and the maid talking to each other. But on the second flight, I saw dead fingers lying. How silly you are. Those were some roots of Scorzonera. On the third flight lay a heap of dead man's skulls. Foolish man, those were cabbages. On the fourth flight, I saw fishes in a pan, which were hissing and baking themselves. When he said that, the fishes came and served themselves up. And when I got to the fifth flight, I peeped through the keyhole of the door. And there, Godfather, I saw you. You had long, long horns. Oh, that's a lie. The man became alarmed and ran out. And if he had not, who knows what the Godfather would have done to him? That's the end? That's the end? What? 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 I am very confused too, Sim. I am very confused. What just happened? It's like the second story. Second confusing story. What was that? What just happened, to be exact? I just don't know what happened. I'm confused. Anyway, last story of the stream. The true Morris, yes. 7 plus Hippo Skulls plus Infinite Princess. Yes. And our last story of the stream. Where's Snow White? I swear I saw it before. Where's Snow White? Where's Snow White? Snow White. I swear I saw it earlier. Snow White. What page was it? Wait, I'm looking for it. Snow White. Snow White. There it is. 209. Okay. Little Snow White. Our last story for the stream. Once upon a time, in the middle of winter, when the flakes of snow were falling like feathers from the sky, the queen sat at a window, sewing, and the frame of the window was made of black ebony. And while she was sewing and looking out the window at the snow, she pricked her finger with a needle, and 3 drops of blood fell upon the snow. And the red looked pretty upon the white snow. She thought to herself, if only I had a child white as snow, red as blood, and black as the wood of the window frame. Soon after that, she had a little daughter, who was white as snow and red as blood. Her hair was black as ebony. Therefore, she was called Little Snow White. And when the child was born, the queen died. That's another one. After a year had passed, the king took another wife. She was a beautiful woman, but proud and haughty. she could not bear anyone else should surpass her in her beauty. She had a wonderful looking glass, and when she stood in front of it, she looked herself in it and said, looking glass on the wall, who in this land is the fairest of them all? The looking glass answered, you, O Queen, are fairest of all. Proud and hot. He said hottie! Proud and hot. Whoopsie! That's a whoopsie on my end. That's a whoopsie on my end. Okay, but as Snow White was growing up and grew more and more beautiful, and when she was 7 years old, she was beautiful as the day and more beautiful than the queen herself. At once, when the queen asked her looking glass on the wall, who in this land is fairest of them all? It answered, you are fairer than all who are here, Lady Queen, but more beautiful still is Snow White, as I ween. Then the queen was shocked, turned yellow and green with envy. From that time, whenever she looked at Snow White, her heart heaved in her breast. She hated the girl so much. The envy and pride grew higher and higher in her heart like a weed, so that she had no peace day or night. She called the hunter and said, take the child away into the forest. I will no longer have in her sight. Kill her and bring me back her heart as a token. The hunter obeyed and took her away, but when he had drawn his knife, he was about to pierce Snow White's innocent heart. She began to weep and said, dear hunter, spare my life. I will run away to the wild forest and never come home again. And when she was so beautiful, the hunter had pity on her and said, run away then, you poor child. The wild beasts will soon devour you, thought he. And yet it seemed as if a stone had been rolled from his heart, since he had no longer need to be killed her. And as a young boy just came running by, he stabbed it, cut out its heart, and took it to the queen as a proof that the child was dead. The cook had to salt this, and the queen ate it, and thought she had eaten the heart of Snow White. But now the poor child was all alone in the great forest, and now terrified that she looked Yeah, just what the heck. Yeah. The queen was really envious of Snow White then. Yeah. But now the poor child was all alone in the great forest, and so terrified that she looked every leaf of every tree and didn't know what to do. I don't remember that. This is the OG sim. The OG one. Then she began to run and ran over sharp stones and through thorns, and wild beasts ran past her, but did her no harm. She ran as far as her feet would go until it was almost evening. Then she saw a little cottage and went into it to rest. Everything in the cottage was small, but neater and cleaner than you can imagine. There was a table with a white cover and 7 little plates. On each plate, a little spoon. Moreover, there were 7 little knives, forks, and 7 little mugs. Against the wall stood 7 little beds stood side by side, covered with Snow White bread spreads. Little Snow White was so hungry and thirsty that she ate some of the vegetables and bread from each plate and drank a drop of wine of each mug. She did not wish to take only one then. As she was so tired, she laid herself down each of the beds, but none of them suited her. One was too long, one was too short. But at last she found that the 7th one was right, and so she remained on it, and said a prayer and went to sleep. When it was quite dark, the owners of the cottage came back. There were 7 dwarfs who dug and delved into mountains for ore. They lit their 7 candles, and now the cottage was lit. They saw that someone has been here, for everything was not in the same order, and they left it. The first one said, "Who has been sitting in my chair?" The second, "Who has been eating off my plate?" The third, "Who has been taking some of my bread?" The fourth, "Who has been eating my vegetables?" The fifth, "Who has been using my fork?" The sixth, "Who has been using my knife?" The seventh, Who has been drinking out of my mug? Then the first looked around and saw that the little hole on his bed and said, Who has been getting into my bed? The others came up and each called out, Somebody has been laying in my bed too. But the seventh when he looked at his bed, he saw little Snow White, who was lying asleep in it. And he called the others who came running up, and they cried out with astonishment, and brought out their 7 little candles and let the light fall on little Snow White. Oh heavens, cried they. What a lovely child! And they were so glad that they would not wake her up, but let her sleep on the bed. And the 7 dwarfs slept with his companions, 1 hour with each, and so got through the night. When it was morning, little Snow White awoke and was frightened at saw the 7 dwarfs. But they were friendly and asked her name was. My name is Snow White, she answered. How have you come to our house? Said the dwarfs. Then she told them that her stepmother had wished her to be killed, but the hunter spared her life, and she had to run for the whole day until at last she found her dwelling. Where was I at? Okay. The dwarf said, If you will take care of our house, cook, make the beds, wash, sew and knit, and if you will keep everything neat and clean, you can stay with us and you shall want nothing. Yes, said Snow White, with all my heart. She stayed with them and kept the house in order for them. In the mornings they went to the mountains and looked for copper and gold. In the evenings they came back. Then they had their supper had to be ready. The girl was alone for the whole day, so the good dwarfs warned her, Beware your stepmother. She will soon know that you are here. Be sure that no one come in. But the queen, believing she had eaten Snow White's heart, was certain that she was again the first and most beautiful of them all. She went to her looking glass and said, looking glass on the wall, who in this land is fairest of all? The glass answered, Oh queen, you are the fairest of all I see. But over the hills where the 7 dwarves dwell, Snow White is still alive and well. No one is so fair as she. Then she was astounded, for she knew the looking glass never spoke falsely, and she knew that the hunter had betrayed her, and that little Snow White was still alive. And so she thought and thought again how she might have killed her. For so long she had not had the fairest in the whole land, envy to let her have no rest. And when she had last thought of something to do, she had painted her face, dressed up like an old peddler, and no one could have known her. In this disguise, she went over the 7 mountains to the 7 dwarves. Ahem! And knocked on the door and cried, Pretty things to sell, pretty cheap, pretty cheap. The little Snow White looked out the window and called out, Good day, my good woman. What do you have to sell? Good things, pretty things, she answered. Laces of all colors. And she pulled out one of which was woven in bright-colored silk. I may let the worthy woman come in, thought Snow White, when she unbolted the door and thought of bought the pretty laces. Child, what a fright you look! Come, I will lace you properly for once. The Snow White had no suspicion, but stood before her. She let herself be laced with new laces, but the old woman lay so quickly, so tightly. Wait, she did what? Snow White had no suspicion but stood before her, and let herself be laced with new laces. But the old woman lay so quickly and so tightly that Snow White lost her breath and fell down as if dead. What? What the heck? Okay then. Now I am the most beautiful, said the queen to herself and ran away. Not long afterwards in the evening, the 7 dwarfs came home, but they were shocked when they saw their little Snow White lying on the floor. She neither stirred or moved. She seemed to be dead. They lifted her up, and what they saw, she was laced too tightly. They cut the laces, and she began to breathe a little. After a while, came to life again. When the dwarves heard what happened, they said, The old peddler was none other than the wicked queen. Take care that no one come in when we are not with you. But the wicked woman, when she reached home, went in front of the glass and said, looking glass of the wall, who in this land is fairest of all? And it answered as before, O Queen, you are the fairest of all I see, but over the hills where 7 dwarfs dwell, Snow White is still alive and well, and no one is so fair as she. When she heard that, all blood rushed into her heart with fear, for she saw plain that little Snow White was again alive. But now, she said, I will think of something that should put an end of you. And by the help of witchcraft which she understood, she made a poisonous comb, and she disguised herself to shape another old woman. So she went over the 7 mountains and 7 dwarfs and knocked on the door and cried, Good things to sell cheap, cheap. Little Snow White looked out and said, Go away, I cannot let anyone in. I suppose you can look, said the old woman, and pulled out the poisonous comb and held it up. It pleased the girl so well that she let herself be fooled and opened the door. When they had struck a bargain, the old woman said, Now I will comb you properly for once. The poor little Snow White had no suspicion, let the woman do as she pleased, but hardly she put her hair in the poison, but hardly had she put the comb in her hair, then the poison in it took effect, and the girl fell down senseless. Your paragon of beauty, said the wicked woman. You are done for good, and she went away. But fortunately, it was almost evening, and the 7 dwarfs came home. When they saw Snow White lying as dead upon the ground, they once suspected the stepmother, and they looked and found the poisoned comb. Scarcely they had taken out when Snow White came to, and told them what happened. Then they warned her once more to be upon her guard, to open the door to no one. The queen at home went in front of the glass and said, looking glass of the wall, who in this land is fairest of all? Then it answered as before, But, O queen, you are the fairest of all I see, but over the hills where 7 dwarfs dwell, Snow White is still alive and well, for none is so fair as she. When she heard the glass speak, she trembled and shook with rage. Snow White shall die, she cried, even if it cost me my life. With that, she went to a quite secret lonely room where no one ever came. There she made a very poisonous apple. Outside it looked pretty, white, with a red cheek, so that everyone who saw it longed for it, but whoever piece of it must surely die. When the apple was ready to paint it to her face and dress herself as a country woman, she went over 7 mountains to the 7 dwarfs. She knocked at the door. Snow White put her hand out of the window and said, I can't let anyone in. The dwarfs have forbidden me. It's all the same to me, answered the woman. I shall soon get rid of my apples. Here, I shall give you one. No, said Snow White. I dare not take anything. Are you afraid of poison? Said the old woman. Look, I will cut the apple in 2 pieces. You will eat the red cheek, I will eat the white. The apple was so cunningly made that the only red cheek was poisoned. Snow White longed for the fine apple, and when she saw that woman take part of it, she could resist no longer, and stretched out her hand and took the poisonous half. But hardly she had taken a bite, and then she fell down dead. And the queen looked at her with a dreadful look and laughed aloud instead. White as snow, red as blood, black as ebony wood. This time the dwarfs cannot wake you up again. When she asked the looking glass at home, looking glass on the wall, who in this land is fairest of all? It answered at last, O queen, in this land you are fairest of all. Then her envious heart had rest, so far as an envious heart can have rest. The dwarfs, when they came home for the evening, found Snow White lying upon the ground. She breathed no longer and was dead. They lifted her up and looked to see if they could find anything poisonous, unlaced her, combed her hair, washed her with water and wine, but it was all no use. The poor child was dead, and remained dead. They laid upon a bier, and all 7 of them sat around it, and wept for 3 days long. Then they were going to bury her, but she used to look as she were alive. She still had her pretty red cheeks and they said. We could not bury her in the dark ground, and they had a transparent coffin of glass made so that she could be seen from all sides, and laid her in it, and golden letters wrote upon it her name, and that she was a king's daughter. When they put her coffin up the mountain, one of them stayed by and watched it. The birds came too and wept for Snow White, first an owl, then a raven, then a dove. And now Snow White lay a long, long time in the coffin, for she did not change, but looked as she were asleep, for she was white as snow, red as blood, and her hair as black as ebony. And it happened, the king's son came to the forest and went to the dwarf's house to spend the night. He saw the coffin, the mountain, and saw the beautiful Snow White inside it. Read what was written upon it in gold letters. Then he said to the dwarves, "Let me have the coffin. I will give you whatever you want for it." But the dwarves answered, "We will not part with it for all the gold in the world." Then he said, "Let me have it as a gift. I cannot live without seeing Snow White. I will honor and prize her as my dearest." What the hell? Possession? What? 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 Okay, next paragraph. And now the king's son had carried away by his servants on their shoulders. And it happened that they stumbled upon the tree's stump. Yeah, it's so sus! And with a shock of the poisoned piece of apple which Snow White had bitten off to come off her throat, before long she had opened her eyes, and lifted up the lid of the coffin, sat up, and was once more alive. "Oh heavens, where am I?" she cried. The king's son, full of joy, said, "You are with me," and told her what happened, and said, "I love you more than anything in the world. Come with me in my father's palace, and you shall be my wife." Snow White was willing and went with him, and their wedding was held with great show and splendor. But Snow White's wicked stepmother was also invited to the feast. When she undressed herself in beautiful clothes, she went before the looking glass and said, looking glass on the wall, who in this land is fairest of them all?" The glass answered, "O queen, of all here is fairest is you, but the young queen is fairer by far, it is true." Then the wicked woman uttered a curse and was so miserable, utterly miserable, that she did not know what to do. At first she should not go to the wedding at all, but she had no peace. She must go to see the young queen. And when she went in, she knew Snow White. She stood still, filled with rage and fear. She could not stir. But iron slippers had already been set upon fire, and they were brought with tongs set before her. Then she was forced to dance on the red-hot shoes and dance until she was dropped dead. The end. That's the end of Snow White. The end. That's the end of Snow White. Not what she deserved, though. Not what she deserved, though. But yeah, and that's the last story for our stream. For our fairy tale reading stream. Thank you. Thank you all for coming for the fairy tale stream. I hope you enjoyed it. We learned Snow White's kind of dumb. You're not wrong, though. You're not wrong. You're not entirely wrong. You're not wrong, though. My God. But yeah, that's the last story for the stream. I hope I'll be able to see you soon. Thank you all for coming, dear keepers. Thank you. Stay safe, you all. And have a great night. Great morning, afternoon, or night, everyone. I hope you really all enjoyed the stream. So, bye. We'll see each other next stream. Bye.